What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Now that I'm talking, it's a little echoey in here, so hopefully it's not too bad. I'll figure it out when I go to edit this, but hopefully it's not too bad. Anyways, we are in the gym today, as you guys can see. I figured it was appropriate to share this video in the gym because we're going to be talking about the ways to get better at CrossFit. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So my first way is something that I avoided doing for quite a while actually, but then I got injured earlier this year and I couldn't do a lot of workouts, but I could do this, and that was running. I'm not a big person on running. I'm definitely not Speedy Gonzalez over here. I'm very slow and steady wins the race kind of person, and I have never been the biggest fan of running, but once I actually started doing a lot of running, like longer distances or just running specific workouts, it helped when I came back to doing CrossFit workouts so much more. So when it comes to doing workouts with 200 meter or 400 meter runs, it makes the workout so much easier because you're like, 200 meters, that's easy. That's so much better than doing like a 5K run. It makes them a lot easier. And it also helps increase your endurance and capacity, which are two main things when it comes to CrossFit. So when it comes to a CrossFit workout, even without running, you want to have those two main components, especially workouts with like a lot of heavy breathing, like thrusters and double unders. You want to have capacity and endurance. And if you're increasing your capacity and endurance through running, it's going to make your CrossFit workouts so much easier, whether you're running in a workout or even not running in a workout. It makes such a difference. Like, I could not believe the difference once I actually started working out and doing the running outside of working out. It's like, wow, okay, this makes things a lot easier. You're not having such a hard time breathing. You're like, yeah, I can keep going because your endurance and your capacity is improved. My next way is something you guys have seen me work on tirelessly, especially since getting injured, and that is working on skills almost every single day. So if you guys don't know, I have like kind of 3 skills going on because I want to prepare myself for the CrossFit Open, and my main things that I'm currently working on is getting my pull-up, getting my toaster bar, and getting my handstand push-ups back, because I lost them a little bit when I came to my injury. But I'm working on those skills every single day. I'm interchanging them every day. I'll work on toaster bar one day, handstand push-ups the next, and then pull-ups. It's very intense, but it has been helping me so much. So working on skills when it comes to CrossFit is actually really important because CrossFit's all about varied fitness. You always want to improve. You never really want to stay in the same spot. You want to work on the skills, whether that's toaster bar or getting a clean and jerk. It's all different for all of us. We all have our different strengths and weaknesses when it comes to CrossFit. So working on the skills obviously will help you get better in CrossFit, and just doing 50 minutes before or after a class really makes a huge difference in getting those skills. This then leads me into my next point, and that is working on accessory work. So if you want to get those skills, you got to work on accessory work, and accessory work actually does help prevent injuries as well. So you want to be doing push-ups, you want to be doing some dumbbell work, you may want to be doing some bench presses, some things that we just don't work on often when it comes to CrossFit. You want to be working on that accessory work. Also, working on those little foundations and accessory work will help you obviously in the skills that you want to work on. So whether that's doing handstand push-ups, you might want to start working on your push-ups a lot more, increasing your capacity when it comes to push-ups. Even then, doing shoulder press. You want to do that extra accessory work outside of just your CrossFit workouts. It's going to help you get so much better at CrossFit and help you be so much stronger. Well, the wind is really windy. You can hear it howling. Please stop. Anyways, the previous one actually leads me into my next point, and that is working on your core. Your core is so important. Before I got into CrossFit, I actually hated working out core. I don't know what it is, the feeling about working out abs, I just didn't like. I loved a leg burn, I loved a shoulder burn, but the core, I was like, no thank you. I've gotten better though. I actually am starting to enjoy it a little bit more now, maybe because I'm a little stronger in my core, but before I was like, I'm good, thanks. But I've always had a very complicated past with my core just being weak. You definitely start to kind of shift and things start to become unbalanced, and you don't want that when it comes to CrossFit because we're doing such varied workouts and it's very high intensity. You want to make sure that you have a strong core because almost every single CrossFit exercise or thing that you do in a CrossFit workout requires your core. And you don't want to be doing things fast like a handstand push-up or front squats or overhead squats with a crappy core. You don't want to be shifting awkwardly. You don't want to be shifting crooked. You don't want to be stronger on one side than the other. you don't want to be doing that because that leads to injury. So you want to have a strong core. Having a strong trunk area is going to make a huge difference, make you so much stronger when it comes to doing a lot of your CrossFit workouts. So last but not least, this is something that I feel like a lot of people overlook and don't do a lot of, because it's something that you need to do outside of doing your CrossFit workouts, and that is mobility and stretching. These are two actually very important things. You want to make sure your body is balanced, because if it's not balanced, you start to compensate on other sides, which then leads to injury. Whereas when you're doing stretching, that's going to help strengthen your muscles and also stretch out your muscles and help you recover so much more. Same with mobility. Mobility is going to help you recover as well, but it's going to help balance your body as well. So there's been so many instances where definitely I've had injury because of lack of mobility and stretching over years, and I've just had injury because of that, and it sucks. It really does. And I've realized I am super imbalanced on each side. I'll put up some video if I can of one side compared to the other where I lack mobility, and you guys will see quite a difference. So I'm constantly working on this, especially for me personally. My muscles really react. My muscles tighten up very, very easily. So it's very important that I do a lot of stretching and mobility, because if you don't have those things, it's really going to affect your CrossFit workouts. Because if you don't have proper mobility when it comes to doing something like a front squat, then you're going to compensate. And for me personally, if I don't have mobility in my front squat, sometimes one hip will shift more than the other, and then I'm not equal, and then my muscles become out of balance, and then it leads to injury. So you want to make sure that you're mobile and stretched. These are things that we just definitely overlook, and it's something that is actually really important when it comes to just working out in general. You want to make sure that you're very well, I guess, like a well-oiled machine kind of thing. And what I use for mobility and stretching is GoWOD. I'm fortunate to use that app, but they also have RawMod as well. If not, they have tons of free stuff on YouTube as well. But please take time to work on your mobility. If you can, work on it right before bed. That is what I do. I find that helps me a lot. It makes me feel like good and ready before bed. But those two things really go hand in hand and really help you get so much better at CrossFit and help prevent injury like so much. Editing me, just jumping on here real quick. I feel like I needed to just talk a little bit more about mobility. I know I just went on about it, but I feel like it's such an important aspect when it comes to working out, obviously, and you want to make sure that you're mobile for exercises. You want to be able to do those exercises properly. So like, let's say when it comes to a front squat, you want to make sure that you have proper mobility when it comes to the squat portion. You want to make sure you have proper mobility in your ankles so that you're squatting properly and you're not lifting up your heels or anything like that. And then you also want to make sure that you're mobile in the front rack position, because you want to be able to hold the bar there properly. And especially if you want to go heavier or do better and make sure that you're doing the exercise properly, you gotta have the mobility. So it's very important that you work on mobility, because you want to make sure that you're doing the exercises properly, obviously. And then that also leads into exercises. You want to make sure that you're equal on both sides, so that you're not compensating on one side more than the other, because you don't want to be stronger on one side more than the other. So that's where mobility comes in. So yes, very important aspect when it comes to CrossFit. Anyway, so those are my top ways to get better at CrossFit. I know a lot of them are pretty basic and straightforward, but I feel like a lot of us just overlook them, and we all just want to kind of get to the top and get better and kind of skip the steps, but you kind of have to do those things to get better at CrossFit. These are the ways that are gonna help you get better at CrossFit. And so if there's anything that you guys wanna add to the list or have any questions, let me know down below. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. You guys know where it is. And don't forget to like the video. It helps me so much and helps the channel grow. And don't forget to be unstoppable, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Summer days burn me out, love just brings me down. Cold inside like winter leaves that slowly leave the ground. Hey, you come back, I wanna give you a chance. Love me like you used to, so we can learn again. The skin is getting brown, baby, drink your night.